Hello, everyone. I'm Rick Ellis, and I've been working in the civil and survey field for almost 30 years. First as a user, then as a trainer, consultant, and author, and now as the product owner for the civil and survey tools inside of BricsCAD. The civil engineering and surveying fields are broad and can cover a large number of workflows. In BricsCAD V25, we have really focused on surveyors, and in particular, surveyors using Leica equipment. While that was our focus, many of these tools can be very useful to civil engineers as well. It doesn't matter if it's traditional survey data or scanned data in point clouds. Surveyors need to get their data from the field into CAD to create drawings and deliverables efficiently and accurately. That is our focus for BricsCAD V25. Our new functionality makes the field to CAD deliverable workflow faster, easier, and more accurate than ever. We have been talking with surveyors and working closely with them to focus our efforts not only on what tools they need, but how those tools should work. We've built on the fast and intuitive tin surface engine we already have, and in V25, we've added options for surface smoothing and the ability to dynamically share surface data between drawings. Next, I'd like to dig a bit deeper into these workflows and show you some of them in action. We spent the last year speaking to Leica users, and we heard that they love the equipment, but that they're often frustrated because they're not able to use all the features in that hardware because the workflow with their CAD software doesn't support it. With our new Leica Convert command, you can do this in just one click. The key here is we are not reprocessing your survey data and line work codes when you bring them into CAD. Instead, that process is being done in your data collector or in Leica Infinity. This way, you're using the same model of your data throughout the workflow. Instead of field to finish, we're calling this collection to delivery. And it's not only faster, but it reduces the opportunity for errors. Now, I'll pass it off to my colleague Linda to show us this exciting new workflow in action.
Now, sure, this is a one-click import that creates points, surfaces, and string objects, along with all of the extended information collected in the field. But we've worked with Leica to expand this collection to delivery workflow to bring many more benefits to our users. You can create BricsCAD templates, including layer definitions, line styles, and 2D or 3D blocks, and then use these directly in Leica Infinity. Here, within Leica Infinity, these BricsCAD templates will map to code tables so that the data is captured and cleaned up using the styles needed for the CAD deliverables. This means you can adhere to the CAD standards of different clients by creating templates once and using them many times. And if this is new to you, don't worry, because we've got a breakout session covering this workflow to get you up and running. Once the survey job has been completed and any adjustments for correction have been made in Leica Infinity, then a one-click export creates an enhanced DWG that can be opened as normal in BricsCAD and looks exactly as it did in Infinity, with layers and blocks. Hit the Convert Leica DWG button to convert entities into civil objects, including points, strings, and tin surfaces. I wish I could tell you this was more complicated, but it isn't. All these entities have extended object data containing important information. For example, double-clicking on a civil point brings up the civil point editor, and you can see user attributes such as code, code description, name, and more. These extended user attributes can be used to create point groups quickly and easily to make the survey job easier to work with. Tin surfaces can be created in Leica Infinity or in BricsCAD. The choice is yours. The important thing here is that no work has to be recreated. Create once, use many times. If line work was collected, you'll see it in your data collector, in Leica Infinity, and now in BricsCAD as our new string civil object. Again, no rework needed. The data is editable through the string editor with elevations, horizontal geometry, and statistics, and all geometry is maintained, including 3D arcs.
Thank you, Linda. We've also been working to bring you drafting and annotation tools that work the way surveyors want and need to work. We already mentioned the new string object. From importing survey data to site grading and exporting data for construction staking, strings are going to get your work done faster throughout the life of your project. We've also added a curve calculator to save time and make survey drafting easier. And finally, we added line and curve labels to let you quickly and consistently label these features to your specifications. We've also updated the transparent commands. They are now persistent, which saves you clicks and time. Now, back over to Linda to show us some highlights of these features.
Strings were imported from our survey job, and these can be edited as needed. If we add a new PI, you'll see that we can perform easy graphical editing. Double-clicking on a string also brings up the editor panel, just as it did with a point, and we can see the new PI added right within our panel. We've also updated the transparent commands. They're now persistent, which saves you clicks and time. We've added transparent commands for deflection and distance, as well as angle and distance, so that you can enter survey-specific data directly into typical CAD commands, making survey drafting much easier, with much more control, and letting you work the way you expect to. New to V25, the curve calculator allows curves to be defined using whatever curve data is available to you. Easily snap to an existing string or point to start your curve and graphically pick the direction you want. There's no need to figure out left or right or clockwise or anti-clockwise. Just click and you're done. You can also graphically pick an existing curve in the drawing and use that to populate the calculator fields. No mess, no fuss. The curve calculator makes it quicker and easier to draw curves with no need to copy and paste to the command line. This means fewer clicks and less chance for errors to creep in. Line and curve labels can be quickly created using defined user styles. Simply select the civil objects you want to label and they'll be labeled. Now these are smart labels. Moving a label from a line segment to a curve segment will change the label style, so that's one less thing that you have to worry about. These labels are also plan readable and viewport skill dependent, ensuring you get to your CAD deliverables more quickly.
I'm really excited about the drafting tools we have added for surveyors, but we haven't left tin surfaces out of V25 either. We've added surface smoothing to improve the display of your contours and more accurately represent real-world conditions. Sharing tin surface data between drawings has been a common request. Now, with just a few clicks, you can reference a tin surface from one drawing to another. Linda, let's see some of these new tin surface tools in action.
BricsCAD V25 has built on its best-in-class tin surface engine to allow you to smooth surfaces, which will update and smooth the display of contours. By using natural neighbor interpolation, you can select an entire tin surface, or just a piece of it, and add points to a surface by inputting into a dialog. These added points will smooth the surface and give a better representation of the real world. Now, as always, you are totally in control of your data, with the new smoothing operation being shown in the Civil Explorer. You can switch it on or off as needed, or you can re-edit the smoothed area, change the grid spacing, or simply delete it. And it's important to note that we're actually adjusting the tin surface, which means that civil objects placed on the surface will be updated to reflect it. This is one less thing for you to worry about. Since surfaces are at the heart of many civil projects, BricsCAD V25 has made it easier to share surface data with collaborators. Attach Civil Objects creates a smart data reference, enabling you to choose which surfaces you want and either embed them or link them to another drawing. These attached tin surfaces are read-only objects linked back to the original source object. They show up in the Civil Explorer, and since it's a read-only link, you don't have to worry about users changing the surface. This gives you functionality and flexibility, along with peace of mind that no accidental editing will occur. The best of both worlds, really. Also, to further streamline your workflow and make sure you have a single source of truth for your project, BricsCAD V25 will notify and update users of changes to the source surface. This surface sharing allows you to use surfaces in the way you need, without the worry of accidental changes.
Thanks again, Linda. In summary, we spent the last year making sure that BricsCAD delivers practical tools that provide interoperability and productivity to surveyors. We've introduced fast and easy access to survey data from Leica instruments with our new collection to delivery workflow. I can't tell you how powerful that is, and it's unique to BricsCAD. We've added drafting and labeling tools with the surveyor in mind that will not only save you clicks, but are also intuitive and fit into your workflow. And then we improved on BricsCAD's already fast and intuitive tin surface engine, adding the options for surface smoothing and the ability to dynamically share surface data between drawings. But these are just the highlights. For more detailed information and to learn more, be sure to check out our civil and survey breakout sessions for an in-depth look. Thank you again for joining us to see what's new in BricsCAD V25.